This is TPI the Podcast.
Welcome back to TPI the Podcast. I am Abigail Murphy, one of the reporters here, and I'm here with
Superintendent Casey Davis.
All right, so we're just going to get right into it if you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's go.
All right. So can you walk me through your career from college to now?
Okay. I'm a product of Tallapoosa County Board of Education. I graduated from Dadeville High School. I attended 2 years at Central Alabama Community College, so I'm also a product of our 2-year college here in Tallapoosa County. And then I transferred to Auburn University at Montgomery to complete my first degree in education. Then I returned there for a couple of other degrees over the years where I finished up with administration. Part of my transition here in Tallapoosa County, I started as a classroom teacher at Dadeville High School. I served in that capacity under Mr. Jimmy Childers and had several opportunities during that time that led me to an interest in administration. During my time there, Mr. Childers trusted me with several building level administrative opportunities. During that time, I taught computer technology and applications, which was new to the field of education at that point in time in the mid to late 90s. During that time, I served, I completed my administrative certification, and I was hired as the alternative school administrator for the district. So I did that for a couple of years before a position opened up at Horseshoe Bend as the assistant principal of a K-12 school at Horseshoe. I served in that capacity from 2003 until 2008 when I took over as principal at Horseshoe Bend, and I served as the principal of Horseshoe Bend from 2008 until 2015. In 2015, Superintendent Wendell at that time offered me the opportunity to come to the central office. I started off at central office as Director of Curriculum Instruction, and then I transitioned into the Director of Student Services and Public Relations and Safety, which I served up until I became the Deputy Superintendent in 2020. Okay. And I still, with Deputy Superintendent, I maintained all of those responsibilities. It was more of just a title change at that time under Superintendent Porter. So that gets me to where we're at that point. Of course, during that time, I served as a classroom teacher, a bus driver, alternative school administrator, principal, sister, all those things, which I feel like gives me a great background to serve as the superintendent on that, because there's very few positions in the county that I've not done or at least had experience with during my almost 28 years now.
Yeah. And speaking to your most recent one, what's the shift been like from deputy superintendent to superintendent?
I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
The biggest thing, and I joke about it when I say it, is that I don't. I was used to saying, well, let's go see what the superintendent has to say about it. So now I am the superintendent. So that's been one of the change. One change that I've experienced. The second change that I have is that building my team here to handle a lot of the things that I did handle. Because as deputy superintendent, I serve as that director of operations, that person who had the thumb on the heartbeat of everything that was going on. And I do those things as superintendent, but I do them a little bit more hands-free on that part of it. So that's been a hard transition on that part of it. I still know what's going on, but it just not being as involved in the day-to-day operations of those things because there are other responsibilities that's required of the superintendent.
Yeah, a little bit more like delegating things.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. The delegation has been easy on that part because I have a great team here at Central Office. A couple of those I've got to add to the circle, and because I've worked with many of these people my entire time that I've been at Central Office, so we, even as our roles have changed on that part, we're still very comfortable with each other. We know each other, and I've got a great team here.
Yeah. And then, is there anything from the past superintendent that you kind of hope to incorporate or continue?
One of the things. Working with, I had a vast knowledge from both of our superintendents. The main thing that is to be transparent with what we're doing, that we want to be good stewards of the financial resources, of the plant facilities that we've been given here in Tallapoosa County, and I want to continue. During Mr. Porter's administration, he had the opportunity to build and improve many of our facilities here in Tallapoosa County, and by no means are we 100% complete on that. So I definitely want to continue the improvement of our physical plants and our facilities on that, and our infrastructures to provide that 21st century learning environment for our students and for our staffs to work in on that, while making sure that they are safe environments.
Yeah. And then, like, now that you've stepped into this role, what's your vision for Tallapoosa County schools?
The canned answer, generic answer, would be to see it better, to leave it better than I found it on that part. But to do that, it's a multifaceted vision. First of all, just like we just previously discussed, is to continue the improvement of the plant facilities, the buildings and the structures for our students and for our communities. Second is to continue an improvement of our academics. We've accomplished great strides under Mr. Wendell, under Superintendent Porter, academically to see Tallapoosa County successful through our credentialing, through our graduation rate, a lower dropout rate on those things, and to see a steady increase in our student enrollment. So those are all, first and foremost with everything, is to provide an education that our students are proud of. We've completed one of those tasks here recently by having our reaccreditation through Cognia, which validates what we already know about our academic system here in Tallapoosa County and the quality of education that our students are receiving from the teachers that we have here.
And then what are some of the objectives that you kind of hope to accomplish while you serve as superintendent?
To continue to grow our financial stability, to make preparation for future advancement of our campuses, whether that be to plan for increasing classroom size because of student growth and community growth, and to continue an academic climb upwards and what we're doing academically through our students on that.
And, since this is kind of like, let's introduce the new superintendent, can you tell me a little bit about what you like to do outside of work? Well,
one of my favorite things is to enjoy our community here and to be a part, even on my quote, free time. I enjoy supporting my cousins and their children through academics, through athletics, and through their academic encounters here that they have in the school system. So I enjoy spending time with them. They keep me quite busy. The two of them are 13 and 14. So they have very active social lives through academics and through sports. I enjoy spending time, of course, in nature. I enjoy spending time going to see live theater when I have the opportunity to do that, and I enjoy traveling. So.
Yeah. And then, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to add that we didn't really touch on or talk about? Or
I think the most important thing that we can remember is that Tallapoosa County education system is not one person. It's not one person's vision. It's important who we have on our board. It's important who we have in our classrooms. And it's important that we all work together as a team. Our parents are our greatest resource. And that's one thing that I stress to all of our teachers, our principals. Communicate with your parents. Communicate with your stakeholders on that, because this is their school system. We are just the stewards of it for a short time. And during that short time, we have the awesome responsibility to build and leave it better than the way we found it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much everything. But I thank you for being on the podcast and doing this short interview with me.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, and I look forward to continuing to work with you and your staff there at the Outlook.
TPI the Podcast is a production of TPI Media and brought to you by TPI Digital. It's all about the audience, and whatever your marketing needs, we can reach that audience. To find out more, go to tpidigital.com or click the link in the show notes.